I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. So we had another bullish big ass day as well. Look at this, straight manipulation, straight volume getting pushed in, not by buying pressure, but algorithm found a support and is pushing up hard, back-to-back days, big bullish candles. When you see this, I mean, you, like I was saying yesterday, so please watch yesterday's video so this makes sense, but the learning experience that I was mentioning yesterday is that when you see this type of behavior, don't try to take sells and don't expect it to break through. Just constantly buy. They're wiping out sellers and they're in a hurry to do it. So I'll show you, for example, when I was mentioning this here, would have been nice to get the breakdown. This is what I would like to happen. But at the minimum, what is it going to do? It's going to keep buying, right? So I put it from here, literally just straight up, just like yesterday's video, straight up, getting into here, which is that high right there. That was probably in target, and that, as a minimum. So, and you see these gaps right here, and you see that gap right there. We end up even going above this and then getting to that high. So instead of that high, we end up taking that high right there. And then as far as dollar goes, this is yesterday's video as well. So I was showing that we would come down, right? So if we're going to be super bullish later with dollar, then I still, I expect, even if I'm bearish with indices, I expect the price to still purge up to get into here, right? And then as you see this big fib here, what do we got? We got 50, 61, 70, 79, right? So we end up coming to there. So these are just ideas, but if you dissect this area, or this area, or even the range, I should say, what do you have? I mean, obviously the lower highs is what they're attacking. I mean, that's why you don't see any retracements. It's constant bullish, right? So the general gist of indices and everything is people are always buying, investing, and holding, right? But as far as a quarter shift goes, or the fourth quarter, you'll see a lot of bullish activity because, generally they're wiping out sellers, but they're also pushing up price, right? So that understanding with this, we ended up coming down, and we even with dollar now, we literally came down here and took out this low, came in here. So I'll show you in a second, but this is still allowed right now. Like even coming down, I don't know how far I was going to come down, but I know that the if we're still coming up, then dollar's coming down, and we got that. But the price held. It's not like it retraced. Again, I don't expect this movement from here to here to all happen tomorrow. But this coming down, generally my first move that I will give you an idea of the previous day, right? Is this, right? So that being said, I want to make this video short, but you'll see that there's a lot to talk about in a sense, but I'm going to try to make this simple. So for our chart, we open up here, and look how big this fucking weekly candle is. Look at that. Stupid candle, right? So that's just not even normal. But 4 hour, we have a opening range with this like kind of brown looking box, and then it's 8:30 news. We have non-farm, and we just shoot the hell up, right? And then it's just constant bullish, just like yesterday. So and the previous days. So when you're here, what are you thinking? Well, again, there's that high right there. There's the gap right here. This that Sunday, October 8th. And then there is a high that's literally the same level right there. We push through that, right? And then we get to a, let me zoom in just a little bit. Don't get lost in all this, but these dotted lines, this is just this wick. I'm just measuring a 50 fib with this wick and made it dotted lines, not dotted, dash lines. And then after this high, it's like, well, I have this gap that's in the background. You see that? I have that gap. Plus I know that the price is inside that right there. And then you'll see how the price action respects, takes out that high on top, which is would be the high. So in this wick, you say the open, you have 50%, and then you have the high of the wick, right? So that's the three levels you would be looking for. A perfect ringer would be saying I'm holding it until it takes that high out, but it could have rejected from the 50 for good. So you don't know, right? But let's go into in a smaller time frame. Let's see here. Before I leave this, is there anything I wanted to mention? Yeah, just go on a smaller time frame. So let's go. So the 5 hour, so the 5 minute right here, gaps down, right? We get this range, and the price never breaks this low. So we're sitting in Asia and London is sitting in this constantly, this holding pattern. Very suspect, right? So 830 dips down, right? Nothing fabulous or anything. Doesn't even go lower, but it stays literally right there, equal levels right there with that this down block. And then it pretty much taps that imbalance. I can draw it out for you, but I do want to make this simple. But and you might not notice this, right? This is a 5 minute, right? Oh, come on. Just talking about this. Of course, I'm not touching. So you see how it doesn't come out? It doesn't hit that gap right there on this 5 minute. This down block holds right here. Price does not break below. So that's strength in general. Even though it wicks down and it's quick, you have you're back in this little gap right here. See this? That's too much to explain. But and you're in the upper quadrant of this gap right here. So there's a big gap right here. There's a bunch of little ones here, but this one price has been constantly referring to, and at 50% doesn't hit 50%, but it's in the top quadrant. But basically, it was just coming down to wipe out anybody buying, and then stays in this block right here. So if I to keep it simple, and you'll see also that even if I was to highlight these down blocks right here, see these 4 candles, all right, and look how we are like probably half, not even, we're a quarter, we're 1 tick away from hitting 50% of this level right there. These down candles, if I measured it, so this is confluence in here too with that, and then also it not breaking that low of this candle. TMI, I think, but I just it's just super game right there. So understanding what this wick is doing, I'm not involved anyway, but then price shoots up all the way. We got the news shoots up at 8:30, right? And then comes in and has a big imbalance right here. And you can see on the 15 minute right here, this 15 minute measured this imbalance right here, and it's basically tapping in, and it's not even nowhere near the 50. So again, this is more reasoning of constant bullishness, and the price is just getting away from you. You're not going to get the precision you want, and you're not going to get what you expect. But if you understood this logic, and I do need to show you on a 1 minute, but which I think I'm going to go to. Yeah, let me just go to 1 minute, because on the 5 minute is not as clear for me. And again, big imbalance. It does dip in, right? So you make your highs right here, and then price comes down, takes out the liquidity, and stays in here, right? And it's nowhere near that 50%, which even if I did this into a quad, this wouldn't be the entry model, but you'll see that it hits the 25% perfectly, right? That's not by accident. Now, if this is not good enough for you, right? And it's pre-New York, pre-open, you get the price that opens up, right? And you needed to see this down block on a 5 minute. But price does shoot up for a new higher high. You got order flow here, right? Patience. The thing is the only way you're going to be able to catch this and do and have this type of analysis, well, obviously understanding, but these entries or these type of ideas is with it hitting certain precision things that you're looking for. The 50% is out of the reach on a day like this of non-farm, and we're constantly bullish. They have higher objectives of taking out liquidity above. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get. Now, we used to have like on a different type of day, sometimes CPI or something, it'll retrace all the way back right here and literally buy right back from here, right? But again, you're not getting that, right? So if you're waiting for confluence, well, this would be the confluence. It hitting this 25% level first of that gap on the 15. You understand? Oh, I don't have it highlighted or what? Here. What's this, a 15 minute? Yeah. What did I have that on the 5? Now I'm forgetting time frames here. Where were you? 5 minute. That's why. I swear I thought I had it right. Okay. Sorry. So, so the 5, this, refining it to a 5 minute. You have the 15 minute right there. You have the 5 minute. Let me go back to a 1 minute. But before I do, you see that the price goes up at 9:30 and retraces right back into that down block on the 5 minute, right? So you can't see this on a 1 minute, but nicely holds. And there is a miniature. I'm going to zoom in. Miniature imbalance right here. Look at this. I'm going to zoom in super tough. Right here, between here. See that? I'm not going to draw it out. It's just too much of a small. But this dips in. See how it dips in? It takes out that low. And it dips in by, a tick. A quarter point. Right there. Nicely. And then it's also inside this down candle. All right. So super game right there. 1 minute. Let me go to 1 minute. So showing you this. Excuse me. So I got this blue line right there. That's that 5 minute block, right? So I just got to show it here. And then as you can see on the 1 minute, that this liquidity piece, this comes up, it breaks above this high, okay? Breaks above this high, and they're relatively equal. I mean, but this is a lower high though. And then retraces back in for that area right there, right? Taps in, and this imbalance on the 1 minute, you could see it refined there. So this one I can draw because it's easier than the other one. See that? All right. And then taps in very nicely. Very nicely. Okay. Then anyways, so this is a buy for me, right? Where am I taking this buy? So now I have two pieces of confluence. Now, so if you're rushing into this, my goal would have been, or my advice would have been, just buy. You know what I mean? You don't fight the trend, don't go against it, just buy. So and you could have even sold into here, from here to down to here. You could have sold into here, no problem. This was about a $3,000 move with 4 contracts. But anyways, higher high, higher low. We got it. Higher high, higher low. That's a new higher high, and that's a new higher low right there. See how it comes underneath that liquidity? That's a model in itself. If you wanna take a new buy from a high as a higher low, then wait for it to take some liquidity out, like that low right there and that low right there. Right? It doesn't have to be much, but I mean that's good enough, right? And so for me, I caught this on a 15 second, so I'm not going to go into that. It's too much. But basically, it's a pattern where there's a down candle in here, and then it comes above and then comes back in it, and that's it. Nothing fabulous. But you're not going to see that on a sub minute. I mean, you're not going to see that on 1 minute. You're going to see that more on a sub second. Yeah. So sub minute, meaning in seconds time frame, right? So that's that, right? And you understand this. This is the buy, and your stop loss. I only got my stop loss here because I got confirmation of my entries here. My entry was not here. So if it was here, then it would be a different story. I would have a better entry, but my stop loss would have been like right here or something in this nature. And then now my entry looks like this, right? So now it taps in, and then I don't want it to go below this candle right here. See that? So, or 50% of this down candle. So, you know, you could even do that. Let's just say you did this. That would have been the same idea, but I caught on a sub-second. So where you're taking this trade, you're taking this trade to right there. The liquidity sitting right there. See that? And then I don't know why. You see how I have this gap right here, this gray right here? It doesn't show it on the 1 minute. It'll show it on the 5 minute, but it won't show it. It's so stupid. I don't know why that indicator does that, and I'm too lazy to draw them. So it's okay. But what was the main idea? And the main idea was where am I? Shit, what's going on here? Yeah, main idea was to take out that liquidity, and if you see it again here, that's that high right there. See that swing high right there? So that's that area right there. Okay, so for me, again, 2 trades, 1 buy, 1 sell. I'm not taking a third one to hold, which I could have, but I want to be done. I need to keep this simple before I overtrade type of idea, right? Because I see a lot of things, but same time, I'm not getting involved in the 830 this time, which would have been nice. Look at that. Look how beautiful it comes right in, and then takes off. So that would have been a amazing entry. But anyways, so we're in this gap right here. I have to go back to a 5 minute real quick, and you're taking out that liquidity. You got 3 drives right there. 1, 2, 3 on the 5 minute. Boom. Then it sits here. All right. So that's profit's got to get taken out. So then this is awesome. Look what happens. If you were watching live price, you would have saw this price. Let me go back to a 1 minute. Fuck. You would have saw this price hit. You can't see it here. Here on the 15, you can see it well. See that gap right there? So it taps. It goes above, just like, you know. I mean, let's see how many. What did it go exactly? It was not much. 2 points. Right there, if that. Yeah, 2 points, 2 handles. So right here, I'm talking about this high right here. So it smacks that high, right? And watch this. Oh, I have to show you this on a 1 minute actually, because this is how I caught the sell. Oh, I am on a 1 minute. Okay, cool. So, and then we've accomplished this idea. Okay. Now, what's the next idea? Well, this pops up, taps the bottom of that gap. That's, you can see here, but you can't see it here, okay? So, and then you get this shoot down all the way this wick. See this wick of this 1 minute? All right. So I told myself, I said, if it comes back 50% of that wick, I'm taking that entry. Where am I taking this entry? I'm taking it, well, remember, I don't have a gap on this chart, but I have it right here. These quads right here, 50%, 25 right here. So that I'm measuring this right here. See this? So it's hovering. It's in here on this chart, but you just can't see it because it won't transfer the gap over here. But this is the gap. I've already highlighted it with these 4 levels. All right. So once we understand it taps underneath that gap, and then that wick gets created, massive stupid wick on the 1 minute, right? Shoots back up to 50%. See how I have this fib right here to here? All right, 50% taps right above it. By the time, and I could have put a limit order, which I should have, but I made a judgment call market as far as manually. This taps in, and then the price starts rushing down, and then I get filled right there. And it's the open of that candle. That's the 10:02 a.m. Eastern time candle. And as soon as it jumps past its open, that's an entry. I get filled there actually. All right, and then so you can see here on the 15, it pops up, it comes down. So where am I taking this sell to? I'm taking it. So when the price gets to this 25% level, I take out the trade, because this is all I want. I don't know. Here's the thing. Remember, I gave an example of, here's the trade, by the way. That example that I was telling you as far as the sell goes with the range. See how it pops in right there? I'm already in it. I get filled right here. I get filled right there, and then my stop loss is above here. First, it's higher, right? First, it's above the 25%, the top 25% of this fib right here. So this is 50. That would be imaginary 25%. It should not be going that high if we're going to come down. So This is where, for me, I hold this 50 level as a resistance type of idea. Okay, so then I drag the stop to right above there because I don't want it to go above there. I need these next down candles to constantly hold its position and not break. So you see none of these bearish candles break above. Super game. And then where am I taking this? Boom. So I'm screenshotting it here on purpose. I didn't screenshot it down here because it does come here. And it does get into this candle or these two down candles. But here, the reason why I screenshot it here is number one, I hit this 25% level on the gap. See, you see how I can't see it here? You see how, I can't see it here, but it's here. This gap here, I measured it from here to here, right? So number one. Number two is I'm in these two down candles. Number three, you see the 15-minute? This is what gave it away for me. The 15-minute, you see these two down candles? These are just two down candles, but this is a demand. So the price is coming in here. It's going to get stuck. It's going to get stopped. It might not even pass the wick of this 15-minute candle. So this is terminus for me. Gotta be done. So this is a buy up and a sell down, and I'm fucking good. So as you see here, we come down a little bit more. And if you divided this 25% level, then you could even put that in half right there. But see how we come. This what is this? This is a 1 minute. So you see these. That was a 30-second screenshot that I showed you. So this on the 1 minute, it's a 1 minute down candle, and look where it comes to, right in the center. So if I was to show you this candle right here, measure that candle. Okay. All right. What's that? 40.50. Let me drag it out. 40.50 right there. Look at this. So that's that. I'm measuring this down candle, right? And look at 50%. Misses it by, man, it's what is the level? It's a tick. Barely a tick right there. So a quarter point, right? Not even a full point. It's a quarter point away. So this is the logic, right? And this is the reason why this trade's got to be done right here. Because you're in an area where it can buy. But here's the thing. If you held this to try to break through here, all right, you'd be asked out, right? Because when I gave the example of this, you see high, why does it do that? High, higher low, high, break, and retrace. Now, if we were going to get that pattern today, then it would have looked like this, which means it would have broke through here. Here. This would have broke through. But guess what? It's not. It's another higher low. So higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right? And you have to stick with that, meaning that we're going to come and take out this liquidity above here, right? And get to that final ringer up here, which is the high of that wick, which is in these dashed lines. So that's the logic you got to have, because why am I saying that? And why? And yes, look, we're oversold. Yes, I understand that. And we should break down. But in my experience, they're not going to give it to you like that. You're going to constantly get these extra higher highs, these drives up still. Even though it's super overbought, even though it's just been constantly going up, this is a trap. This is a bear trap right here. So if it broke through, great. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, then we have, our understanding of a break and then a retrace, and then we would have caught the sell down again. But you have to understand what's been going on for the past amount of days, and it's Friday, and you're just not going to get it. So they're gonna just grind it up, and the decision that you need to make is, this is a higher low. I'm going with this, and you could have bought that right there. You could have bought it right when it got to here, inside this top 50% of that candle. That's why I got this blue line, right? You see that blue line right there? It's highlighting the 1 minute candle across. This is highlighting the 5 minutes candle, but you can't see it on the 1 minute here. But that was the logic there. So this is why I'm screenshotting it and taking it and showing you that this is a good decision. And it came down a little bit to here and then bought, right? So this is a 30-second though. See how the 1 minute, see how there's two candles here, right? So you could have refined it to this candle here, just the top of this candle right there of that 30-minute. And you still could have been a buy right there. Anyways, so that being said, look at the candles here. Price shoots up, comes back. All right, comes back into this down candle on this 1 minute, right? And look how it comes to the open right there perfectly. What's the open of this down candle right here? This at 1 minute. The open is 15062.75. The low of this candle is 062.75. See that? Same level, right? So that's an entry right there. So if I was to have kept trading, or if you saw this would be a beautiful trade right there. Now you could have done this with this type of risk management, or if you're confident, you could do half of that wick, right? For example, or you could just button it up right there, right? And then you would target your high. And that would have been that trade. That would have been the third trade today in a sequence of a buy model. And beautiful. Look at that shit. And then to explain this, you see that we this imbalance right here. So if we're going to be bearish, we would have wanted to see it break through these lows, obviously, right? And then hold at this imbalance. So this was originally an imbalance here. Doesn't get tapped though. I'm already in it because of this 50% level, right? So this is a low risk trade for me. This breaks through and comes back up as a resistance possible, right? Takes out that liquidity right there. But as you see, we come up into it right here. This was blue first before yellow. This was a blue color. And then it does go into the imbalance. It retraces back, but you got too many higher lows right here. And you understand the framework of what we were talking about possibly up here. But see, this is the thing. This is why I'm done, because I don't need to find out, right? I could be wrong, and I'm not playing with these people. So to keep your model simple, between 9 and 11 is the sweet spot for me. It might not be for you or whatever you want to do, but I'm telling you right now, that's the best thing for you. And if you're going to keep trading, okay, cool. But, higher lows is what you're looking for. They are respecting. Then you get a trade like this. You get this, see how this low, see how this candle breaks this low right here? Keeps hovering when I fucking do it though. See how it dips down, but it stays above that low, low right there, that higher low. It takes that one out. That's cool. That's internal. But you can see the higher high, higher low. When you're getting here, you're like, man, this shit's going to retrace on you. It's going to keep going if you kept trying to hold this sell. And then this turns, see how it busts right through right there? You don't even get a retrace. You don't even get a test back. That's to show you that the strength is going up and that this is not a sell. This is a buy, right? Right there. You see that. And this could have been, you could have pushed. You see how this candle pushes right through it and the candles never come back? And right here, it dips into this imbalance right there, but barely. See that? And that's all the algorithm got to do so it can keep running. And you can see that we're at the top of the gap. So 1 minute, but now we're here. See on the 15-minute? See, we're at the top of the gap. It's respecting that gap. So it comes above. See how it's bouncing? It bounced fucking a couple times right there, right? And then going up. Now where are we going up besides here? It went up into that right there, in between this wick. Look how we have the open, we have the middle, we have the high of the wick, right? Of that candle. We're talking about October 18, Wednesday, right there. That's the 10 a.m. Candle, 4-hour candle. And that's, you could see that we have these lines here. Look at this. I'm going to show you some super game right here. See how the price comes in? All right. Comes above into the open of that candle I just mentioned in the 4-hour, retraces, bounces right there. Look where it comes to. Look at this shit. This is the center of that wick. It does not hit it. You think that hits it? It doesn't hit it. How do I know this? Because I remember everything. I mean, you know, mostly everything. Look at this. See how I zoomed in? You see how it doesn't hit that 50? I'm aware of that. Look at this 50 right here. See how it doesn't hit it? And then it does all this bullshit, right? It does all this bullshit. Even comes down here. And look what it does. Pops right to it right there. And it hits that 50. A little bit above. All right? And that's liquidity now that they underneath the 50. And then what does it do? It hits it and it runs. Literally runs. You could have pushed it there. You could have pushed it when this candle here comes down and then closes and then this pops up. You could have just pushed the button right there because this has came down and it retraced back up, right? So this is like a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. You see the flow, right? So, you know, and where would you, if you would have took this sell, you could have took it right back to this first level here. All right, or even into here, into this wick here. This was resistance, you know, come turn support, balancing price, wiping out the liquidity right here. All right, and then where does it go to exactly? If we had a specific level, nothing special on this time frame. On a smaller time frame, I'm sure, but let me go to a 5 minute. Maybe you can see something here, but you know, you don't got to be that anal about it, but as you see, we come in, up, look at that. 5 minute, perfect. See this wick right here? So it comes back down into the block, and then this wick, 50% of that wick, do I have to draw it out for you? I'm pretty sure you can see that. All right, what's that? 172.25, 172.25. All right. Short of that wick, short of that center. By not much. I mean, I got this stretched out. All right. But the top quadrant of the 50. So perfect entry is 50, but you will miss it. If you have a limit order there, you'll miss it. You won't get filled. All right. So it's off by a quarter point. All right. So you want to take into consideration of that. So in this case, you can put you could say I have my, it's pretty big. It's an idea. It's your choice. You have a risk of getting stopped out, so you'd most likely want to put it here on that wick right there, right? And then you have this down candle. 50% is sitting right there, right? The 25% of this down candle would be somewhere here. So, you know, you can refine however you like, whatever, you know, back test what you see. But, you know, you could have even got away with this right here. You know, from the 25% to the 75%. Because you didn't get that, you didn't hit that 50. But, you know, this is to get you in. If you're wrong and it keeps going, that's a wrong trade. I mean, because you're basing it off of these principles of what I'm telling you here. So, you know, little maybe TMI here, but just super game. Then it retraces what? Guess what? Buys up again. So you have a higher low, higher high, and a higher low. Comes all the way up, and boom, takes out the top. See that? See how it takes out the top? And then it comes all the way back down. Where? Damn near where you entered right here. See that? So, which is that high right there. All right, I gotta be done here. And then let me just tell you, Dow. Damn, this was a little. Again, this is why I'm not trading Dow right now, because it is very fickle. As you see, this is a lot more complicating. This is a lot more outside the lines, and it's rugged. And this is why I'm trading NAS, right? And but I ain't forget about. I mean, Dow's always been my baby, but I've had to leave her alone for a little bit, man. But as you see, 4 hour. Let's start with that big ass dumb. Look at this weekly candle. Look at that stupid. But I was mentioning that we're up here to that month. Remember the month? This is all just the beginning of the first 3 days of November, right? And we have that little space right there. Remember I showed you this right here? This little space between here and that low of the month right there, which is of August. Look, we're going to get into that. See that? And they're coming to balance that price. There's a space in between here, between October and August, which the space is of September. See that? So I'm running for that, and I got that highlighted on here. And then anyways, it's just another buy day for Dow as well. And as you see, we open up, and then we come to attack that liquidity sitting right there. See that? See all these highs right here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 highs right there. See that? All lower highs right there. All right? Rushed right for it. And then let me show you. And we're also back into that weekly imbalance. Remember this purple one that we, not purple, this light pink right here? In between there and there, those weeks. Well, I got it, I extended it out, right? Because we're inside it. It's not like we're not inside it. And let's go to a smaller time frame. So, that being said, and you see here, we got the quad levels here on the back to that weekly imbalance. So we're using it again. It's not over. I know where we're coming back to it, even though we've already came above and cleaned up that imbalance. We're back in it, still an imbalance. It's still there. So take a look here. Price opens up. This is Dow. Gaps down, comes up, comes underneath, wipes out that liquidity right there, shoots up, never comes below here again. So it makes a high, higher low. All right. Stays inside that block. What is this, a 5-minute? Right there. See that? All right. And these higher lows hold for the whole day. All right. Even when 8:30 comes in, look at 8:30. It's just a candle that pushes straight up. You used to see me catch these trades all the time with Dow, where I would literally put a stop loss underneath one of these blocks right here, and boom, be automatically in. Be even in before 8:30, like from this 8:05 candle, dips in right here and holds, and look, 8:30 pops all the way open. Anyways, so shoots up right here on the 15-minute. You can see. Let me fix that. Right there. So you can see I got it highlighted by the 15-minute. This is a 5-minute, so even if I fine tuned it, I could say, right there, it's fine, whatever. All right, so you got that imbalance there. They tap in it already. They come up. How many drives? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth failed. This is why I'm not trading Dow, because they're just too much. They're just too much. They're playing around too much. Ain't no other way I could put it. Anyways, and then as you see. Well, you can't see it on this time frame, but I got to go to 1 minute. There's no way you're going to see any of this. So I got to go 1 minute. All right, so 1 minute here. All right, take a look at the drives. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, super wick right there, right? Look at the same scenario. Look at this shit. Look how it comes down, comes up. You're like, man, I didn't even get near that 50. Look at how it's acting, right? So this is why people don't trade Dow, to be honest with you. But the ranges are pretty awesome. So as far as ranges goes, that's that low of the day, and then we made this high. So as you see, price does sell right back into a 50% level, which is nice. So this is what I like about Dow. This is what I love about Dow, to be honest with you. So they're really good with their ranges. But I'm gonna delete this real quick so you understand that yes, it did come. Well, I'll leave it there. Fuck it. But, okay, so now we have this gap right here, and we have these down candles. You have to see this. See this right here? This high of this 8:30, 1 minute. And then see how the next candle, which is 8:31, it dips down a little bit right there to the right. See with the little wick, and then shoots up and closes. Well, this action from the high to the low is a down candle. And I got it highlighted right here. See that? You can see that, right? I'm going to drag it out a little bit to right there. You see it? See how it's highlighting that and to that? Then we pop in, right? And this is controlling price. The price won't go below here because this is a demand area block right here, right? Yes, would you have liked it to come in here? Sure. Guess what? No. So in a very bullish scenario, you're going to see this, and it turns out to be kind of like a speaker, right? So you got the higher highs there. You got the lower highs, lower lows, forming right there. See that? That's what I used to like Dow more, but the price comes back in and it taps in it. See that? Taps in it again. Still in it though. See that? And it's the same, this level right here. Look where, what is it? It's probably the same level as this open of this candle. What's the open of this candle, this 831 candle? It's 34,008. All right, psychological level of 34,000 again. Huh. And then what's the low of this? 34,008. See that? So the open of this candle, it's a signature. And when you watch price action for so long, this stuff, it'll pop out at you. You know, you'll be, oh shit, that just hit that. Boom. You come down and take liquidity, and you could be pushing the button as it's going up, or if it closes. And if you got to retrace in, great, but you might be in already, stop loss here. However you want to handle it. It's your fucking account. It's your trading models. Whatever you want to do. But you see price right here, makes this high, comes back down, makes it high, and then it retraces back into this imbalance right here. Then it shoots up to kill that high right there. And this 50% level has nothing to do with that. So I'm just going to delete that. But, all right, very fickle, and then retraces back down into what I've just explained here. This is a 1 minute, right? Yep. And here, all right, so now that you're down here, this is a higher low. That's your higher high, and that's your higher low. This is how it looked. It looked ugly, right? Came all the way up. That's your higher high after 4 drives, higher high, and higher low. And higher low is after 1, 2, 3, 4 drives down. All right, see that? All right, and then after it takes liquidity, that's another entry. And then right here, where could you have followed here? Well, you got this gap right here, this imbalance right here. I got it. I already got it with this color, and then I have an inversion imbalance between that and that. That's why I got it highlighted. See that? It's hard to see it. See that? Between this low, this 850. I'm sorry, 1050. This 1050 and this 1052. Right there. See that? This bearish, in between this bearish, you drag this out, and then it uses it as support. Beautiful. So price comes above, and it comes into this imbalance, and you're like, oh, it's going to sell from here. No, we're bullish, right? So it's going to use this as support. See this imbalance right here? See how we go down and we come above it, and then we end up coming back in it. See it? And it's holding as support. See that? So as soon as it even popped above here and retraced back in, you already have this entry model here. But then if you look here, price comes above, comes into this down candle, order flow. It's just simple order flow, right? So pick your poison. You have this little consolidation area. You see how we poke above and we retrace back in? That's a break and retest right there. That's the real break and retest. So it gets out of this consolidation, it pops up, and then it retraces back in, gives you an opportunity to get in. That's a confirmation of buying. Then it makes another higher high, and then another higher low, retraces back into this block. Where is it? 50%. I'm not even going to measure it with you. And then another higher high, and then this pops in, support, higher high, pops back in, again, support. This is that inversion imbalance, and buys all the way up and keeps going up. Keeps going up all the way, and then falls short of that gap right there. And then look, it sells off, right? Starts wiping liquidity. Look where it pops back into by the perfect level. Look at this. If you're watching Dow, look at that gap. Look at that little gap. Dragged it out. Look at the high is the same level as the high of the gap. See that? Amazing. Little details. And then that shoots it down for liquidity. So yeah, man, I'm not even going to talk about anything else. This is done. As far as dollar goes, you can see it just sank down. So as you see with the with this daily imbalance right here that I've got leveled here, right there. See that? when we were in it, we came to the weekly imbalance right there. We came back to the daily imbalance. And then we came up and we sold from the center of that daily imbalance. So the dollar sold off and we were buying up constantly. Here's the 830. You see the drop happen hard. This is letting you know, yo, this is a bullish day for indices and it's a bearish day for dollar. So as you can see, constantly, and then retest that weekly imbalance right there. But yeah, so bearish, right? All right, so now what are we going to say for next week? I don't know. We have FOMC conversations. We have Fed Powell, talking. Well, I'm sorry, it's Fed Powell talking, yeah. Let me see it. I showed you all that, didn't I? Yeah. So we have, and just to show you the news, all bad news. Not like it was really, really bad news or anything, but it wasn't great reports. And the fucking shit went up. So this is to show you, and dollar went down. So this is to show you why we don't trade fundamentals like that. We don't look at the numbers and say, oh, we're going to project price off of positive and negative numbers. Dude, this is negative numbers and it flew up. We didn't need numbers to tell us that we were going up to take liquidity out. Like we didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's fucking rigged. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But anyways, next week we have Powell talking right here on Wednesday at 9:15, and then we have more on Thursday at 2 p.m. So he's definitely gonna be pushing on consumer sentiment on Friday of next week. So that's gonna really push us in a direction again. In my opinion, I think so. But as far as dollar goes, my ideas right now are let me move this over here. Well, again, I'm gonna squinch this out. You can see that right here, this could be a support area in here. See this? See this high? And then also this patch of price, this high right here, with the support right here. So could dollar, with this understanding, and maybe this is not over yet, we don't know. And this is obviously different because of what's going on in the world right now. Otherwise, normally dollar should be going up, and so should indices in the fourth quarter. But we might get this, something like that. We're still not done coming down with dollar, right? So, and I did an example on if you watch this video of yesterday, you'll see me give this example actually. So this matured, but pushing up, that's maybe out of the cards. We are super bullish right now, and let me go back to, if dollar is going to be like that, then I am going to say that, and I did a video, the example I gave this as a possibility, doing something like this. Whatever, I'm just going to ballpark it here. And we end up doing something like this. It's very possible if dollar keeps coming down, we could see something like this. So, and if dollar is just coming down for temporarily and still decides to go back up, then which means we do something like this more. I don't know. Just talking. Then that's going to do us, in my opinion, like this. Possibly rush up to here and then come down. I don't know. But if it's not that high, then something like this or some shit. And then we'll just stick to that. All right. So I think that's pretty good. And then, yeah, also, yeah, we had lower lows here. Super game. We had lower lows right here. Higher lows right here, showing strength. Look at S&P is what is controlling the market in general, in an average sense, right? So lower lows here, cracks for Dow as usual, but And actually, Nas gave a crack right here too. This was they never broke this high, and I remember that. So um, if you zoom in here, they didn't take out that high. Oh, they did take out that high. Wait, so where was it? Maybe I was thinking something else. Was it? Hold on. Yeah, it was by a tiny bit. It did take it. Yeah, it did take it. So what was I thinking about last time? I can't get into that right now. That doesn't even matter. Tired. All right, you guys have a good weekend. Take care and God bless.